during this match and kind of come in on his terms and move the ball around, and I guess we'll find out.
We haven't seen this matchup since March of 2023. It went to 3, and Ben Johns will serve first.
Side out.
Nice shot to start for J.W. Johnson, 21 years old, resides in South Florida.
0-0. Side out.
Tough flat court.
Yeah, J.W. Johnson just kind of going for it with a little angle drive, and
0-0.
you're gonna let these two players they're gonna kind of feel each other out early on here a little bit, but
Point.
big serve from Ben Johns there. And one of the big things he does with especially with the new serve rule is open his hips up a little bit more with an open stance to be able to drive this ball forward into the court to get some depth on it.
Point.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit yesterday in the interview of some of the changes he's managing at the moment. And of course,
2-0.
you're hiding under a rock at the pickleball world. Ben and Colin Johns took a loss last night to Gabe Tardio and Andre Daescu. What a shot from J.W. Johnson. His hand speed is unmatched.
Yeah, wrist action there from J.W. Johnson, just able to roll that backhand,
0-2.
as we've seen him do many times. That famous ready position from below the waist.
Side out.
Ben Johns leads the head-to-head. J.W. Johnson 3-1. And
2-0.
most of these matches went to 3 games. J.W. winning in March of 2022 over Ben.
Point.
And cutting that ball a little too much there, J.W. Nonchalantly walks back to the baseline.
3-0.
All but one of those matches went to 3.
Point.
A motivated Ben Johns.
Absolutely. I think sometimes when Ben does lose in something, you know, it kind of gets him motivated for the next event. And so I'm curious if this is going to do that for.
Looking awfully motivated this morning.
5-0. Reserve. 5-0. Side out.
Good counterattack from J.W. Johnson. He approaches to the kitchen first. You had a nice breakdown on how to beat Ben in the way that Jaume Martinez victed from last tournament. After the serve, would love to get more insight on
Point.
what you see there. Nice passing shot cross court from J.W. Johnson.
Yeah, great passing shot. So the one thing that Jaume was able to do on Ben Johns that most people don't is when you get that volley, Jaume elected to bring Ben in versus pushing the ball back to him to create another passing shot opportunity for Ben Johns. And so we'll see what J-Dub does, but
Oh my, what a shot from J.W. Johnson. Just barely hooked it inside the kitchen.
yeah, what a great scramble point from both players, showing their cat and mouse skills. Going back and forth a bit up at the kitchen line. And J.W. coming up on top on that one.
Side out.
Well, Ben Johns does such a great job of just net coverage. You know, once he's up there, he's a lot longer than people realize with his arms, and just able to cover so well and anticipate extremely well.
Point.
That's pretty. On the backhand side of Ben Johns.
6-2.
So that formula you mentioned with Jaume, I wonder if that's a sustainable model for all these pros, or just because of the mobility of Jaume, he was able to execute that way.
Yeah, Jaume's footwork going to his right is extremely good. We're going to get to see him play later. But, you know, J.W. Johnson right now, the funny part is we're coming off of a match of Leah Jensen and Anna Bright where the intensity was just so much. And now, you know, Ben and J.W. Johnson have both the same mentalities of very nonchalant, kind of methodically go through their rhythm and go through their shots. And so really interesting.
Side
Good
out.
pressure from J.W. Johnson, keeping Ben Johns deep. Still competitive, though, despite the calm nature on both sides. You can tell there's still a fire burning in there.
Side out.
J.W. Johnson trying to be able to come in and create more cat and mouse opportunities for him. I think he'd rather probably do that than risk being passed by Ben Johns right now, who's hitting his spots.
Point.
There he is, Ben, knowing that JW likes to go for big returns and taking advantage of that by keeping the ball low.
So much risk behind that backhand of J.W. Johnson. So much control over it, too.
Yeah, able to keep a really open stance in order to kind of create where he wants to go with the ball with that backhand flick. So.
Oh.
Point.
Ben all smiles after that one, knowing just luck of the draw sometimes with the net cords.
3-9. Side out. 9-3. Side out.
Yeah, Ben just going for his serve. And I mean, in singles too, like we talked about before, Michelle, is that, you know, the serve and the return both kind of underappreciated, but really heavy things to work on for singles. So you can create pressure on your opponent.
9-3. Side out.
And J.W. Johnson with a shorter return there. Ben unable to kind of get that passing shot, not anticipating that it would have been a shorter return.
Point.
Crowd encouraging J.W. Johnson.
It can just go so quickly with Ben Johns. All of a sudden, it's 4-9.
Shot again for J-Dub.
Ben a little indecisive on that volley, whether to lay off of it to let it go out or to hit it. So comes up with a miss hit there.
Ooh. J.W. Johnson wanted the carve-out shot. Cross court, couldn't get there. Ben Johns recovers the serve. Good run, though, for J-Dub. Wow.
Point.
Methodical roll shot to finish.
So there it is again, one of the opportunities that JW probably could have done a drop volley there and brought Ben into the kitchen on his terms for the cat and mouse, but elects to go ahead and push that ball back, giving Ben Johns another opportunity for the cross-court winner. And so there's a big difference.
Side
See
out.
if he, well, that one's going to go wide, but some of the changes to think about going forward for future players a little bit.
5-10. Point.
And that ball setting up enough for J.W. Johnson to come in and attack. So great use of the opportunity there from him. Stays alive here in game one.
Side out.
And that shot has made Ben Johns so many winners, so many wins throughout his years of playing pickleball. That backhand
Game point.
misdirection.
10-6.
Game point for Ben Johns.
Point.
Just wide for J.W. Johnson. Ben
as well as getting into some of the cat and mouse points on his terms. But, you know, Ben Johns looks extremely comfortable playing J.W. Johnson right now. So it's going to be really tricky for him, especially when Ben is this motivated.
0-0. Point.
Well, you know the standards are high for a player like Ben Johns when everyone's talking about, you know, one divisional loss. He's still got 2 divisions he could clinch gold in, but the expectation is a Triple Crown every weekend, right?
And he manages that so well.
Point.
There's a great close from Ben as J.W. Johnson again trying to push that ball back. Ben able to close.
20 Triple Crowns for Ben Johns. Pay off that point.
He's got a couple.
Side out. Zero, 2. Side out.
Quick tournament update for you. Connor Garnett took down Christian Elshon over on Grandstand, 11-5, 11-8. Good win for the 4th seed.
Yeah, very good win for Connor Garnett. Lost a couple in the last 2 tournaments that, you know, unexpected for him, I'm sure. So I'm sure that's got to feel good for him to move forward.
So he will have the winner of this match right here.
0, 2.
Yeah, good volley there from J.W. Johnson.
Side out.
Ooh.
Two, 0. Side out.
Slapped down by J.W. Johnson. Makes it look so easy and casual.
He does. Very short, compact motion there. Doesn't take the paddle too far back,
0,
but accelerates
2.
after contact, as is pickleball compared to other sports. So great volleys.
Side out.
There's that backhand roll from Ben Johns again.
And if you even look back further,
2,
when
0.
Kwang Duong was able to take down Ben Johns, he had those volleys that really were crisp and kind of pushing it forward so that they stayed down and created such depth versus trying to just slam
0,
it down, because then
2.
it actually sits up for Ben Johns. So.
Yeah.
Point.
Getting a nice net roll there from J.W. Johnson. He'll take it, obviously, you know, as the margin for error against Ben is very slim when he gets up to the net. So
1, 2.
Oh, ATP from J.W. Johnson secured.
he just walks
2,
over
2.
there and does it too, right?
Side out.
And there's that net coverage from Ben Johns, able to just control the kitchen line. And so
2, 2.
JW trying to get the ball down. It's just you got to make it bounce, and Ben will make you pay if you don't. So
Side out.
it's always interesting to see Ben Johns has all these different shots that he can use from time to time. Whether he
2,
pulls
2.
from that or not is you know, depends to be seen sometimes throughout each match. But you'll see some new shots from him once in a while that you wonder where that came from. And usually he'll go back to Old Faithful as the match gets tighter sometimes. But
3, 2. Side out. Two, 3. Side out.
and there's the depth of volley from J.W. Johnson. Just had enough spin on it too with that backhand.
3,
Kind of
2.
hits a lot flatter with the forehand.
Too good.
Ben John saying, I like your backhand roll, but remember, mine's still one of the best in the game. So there's his backhand roll as well. Everything out front,
2,
everything
3.
pushing after contact.
Impossible angle delivered by
Side
J.W.
out.
Johnson. Some of these balls these guys can get to is unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Setting it up with the volley first, that puts Ben in the
3,
corner.
2.
And there's another overhead, and then back and forth he goes. So it's just a fantastic play by
Point.
JW to have control of the net there.
Falling backwards, too, on that angle.
Yeah, his tennis days had to pull the little scissor kick out.
4, 2. Side out.
How is JW still able to generate so much power despite such little paddle movement?
Well, a lot of it is due to the fact that he always has acceleration as after contact. So you're really using his core and his hips to push forward after contact versus doing anything prior. So
Ooh, inside out sneak attack. Point proven.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
And a good hold there as well, because he has the ability to go either cross court or down the line with his open stance like that. So great job by J.W. Johnson up at the net. And after being down 2-0, although he gives it back to Ben, takes the lead.
Point.
Ben's serve is much harder, much faster than it appears, you know, with his kind of body movement. Everything is just pushing into your body back at the baseline when you're trying to return that ball.
Point. Four. Point.
Another big serve by Ben Johns, giving him the lead here in game 2. He just goes so fast, Michelle.
5-4.
Finished off, then polished off by J.W. Johnson. What a point.
And Ben able to still get to the ball, but he knows what's going to happen after that. And so great finish there from J.W. Johnson.
4-5. Side out.
So good with that backhand roll.
Yeah, J.W. caught in the middle there, just knows that it's going to go one of two ways, and it's hopefully it comes his way. That one obviously didn't. Deception backhand from Ben.
Third to the backhand corner of the kitchen. Rolls on
Time
here
in.
from Humana
4-5.
Championship Court. J.W. Johnson with a chance to tie it on Ben Johns.
Side out.
That backhand proving too powerful, though, from Ben. He's carving out all the angles.
5-4.
Short ball to close, and J.W. Johnson all over the read.
Yeah, great job by just sticking the volley. And you know,
4-5.
J.W. not with the more common ready position, having it down by his waist, but able to get the paddle on it somehow and get the side out.
Side out.
Just wide. Yeah, it's unconventional, to your point with J.W. Johnson. Why does it work for him?
It's we're all unique in this game.
Yeah,
and
true.
So, you know, for JW, his is just able to kind
5-4.
of go from there and have great anticipation. And able to, would I ever recommend it for anybody? Not necessarily, but it does work for JW very well.
Point.
Oh, there was the drop volley you mentioned.
Yeah, he's going to try to mix it up. I know he was talking to Gabe Tardio on the bench during that timeout and trying to see what to have happen there. And I think I could actually see Gabe said, you know, push forward,
Yeah.
bring him in, you know, and it looks like he tried to do it there and got what he wanted, just couldn't execute the dink.
Point.
Wow. Just a quick deflection for Ben Johns.
Well, that time Ben able to come in on his terms, elects to try not to pass from that midcourt, but just drops, comes in,
7-4.
closes, creates the pressure, and then finishes. So nice pattern there from Ben Johns.
Side out.
How do you decide in that midcourt shot whether to hit a passing shot or to just finesse, drop it in?
Yeah, it depends on the ball, obviously. That one's staying nice and low.
4-7.
So normally if you speed up from the midcourt, the faster you hit, the faster it comes back, unfortunately. So
Side out.
doing the drop shot can set you up for much bigger, better things going forward, especially if you want to apply pressure on the person that can actually lose the point. So
7-4.
Ben Johns doing that better than most in this sport.
So disciplined with it.
Point.
Missed return and an 8-4 lead for Ben Johns.
8-4. Point. Nine, 4. Reserve, hit the net. Nine, 4. Side out.
And better depth on the volley. The crowd trying to encourage J.W. Johnson here as he gets the ball back. See if he can do something here in game 2. Get some momentum going his way.
Side out.
And missed serves are not going to help your cause.
9-4.
Especially going against the world #1.
Side out. Four, 9. Side out.
And back-to-back missed serves from J.W. Johnson as he kind of slices that ball back and
9-4.
shows a lot of emotion for J.W. Johnson.
Side
And a
out.
heavy angle from J-Dub. Cross-court fadeaway.
Yeah, Ben just trying to stay alive there. Throws up the defensive lob. Hopes for J-Dub to potentially make an error,
4,
but
9.
able to put it away.
Oh, cat and mouse delivered by Ben Johns.
Ben John's one of the best at cat and mouse, just picking and choosing his
9-4.
shots so wisely, able to get such sharp angles on it as well. So
Side out.
Deep return from J.W. Johnson, putting Ben Johns in a bad
4-9.
situation.
Side out.
And Johns, to me, just seems a step ahead of every single play. Like he knows where you're going to hit it.
Yeah,
Half
absolutely.
second before you might.
he looks really comfortable against J.W. Johnson, and that net coverage is incredible from him. So going to be really hard
Side out.
to pass. But trying to finish out this game too, but J.W. Johnson just staying alive here.
4-9.
Good volley there from J.W. as well.
Side out.
And back and forth we go.
9-4. Point.
And a few more missed
Match
serves
point.
and missed returns from J.W. Johnson
10-4.
here, leading to match point for Ben Johns.
Point. Game.
Oh, a
Match.
miss into the net.
11-4.
Ben Johns takes it 11-6, 11-4. It will be a Connor Garnett, Ben Johns semifinal. What'd you like from the world #1?
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Yeah, don't hit me, I'ma fall like face it. None of y'all can stop me saying what we like face it. Shut it down, you know I'm the one doing face it. None of y'all can stop me saying what we like. Yeah, face it. Yeah, face it. Yeah, face it.
Ben Johns to the broadcast. We're going to try and get some personality out of you, Ben. You and J-Dub have had some battles over the years. What did this one come down to in your eyes?
Yeah, again, it was mostly about making returns, really. I felt like he gave me a good number of return errors. I was definitely making a concerted effort to hit big serves, especially deep in the court with some topspin. I felt like I did a good job of not missing too many returns, left a few short, and he's got a great passing shot on both wings. So that's how I felt like I lost most of my points. Drops felt pretty good. Passing shots, kind of so-so. But I think overall I kind of played good enough as far as the unforced errors went. And I think that's what this match came down to.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, when you were going through and trying to get into that cat and mouse game, once you get up to the kitchen line, what's going through the mind through the cat and mouse?
Yeah, it's really mostly about getting there. J-Dub's probably got the best rolls and kind of fourth ball offense in the game, so dropping him is always a little bit risky. But if you can get in at that point, I guess what goes through my mind is just defending the likely attack spots, and then if I get a good look at something that I can kind of roll to one of the corners, then that definitely puts you in control of the point. So I'm pretty comfortable once I'm up there, but getting there is definitely the difficulty.
Well, you make it look easy anyway, Ben, and you and Colin took a shocking loss last night. What happened in that match? I know it's men's doubles, but what are your remarks after that one?
Yeah, I felt like they played well. They came out fiery. I think we definitely did not. Played pretty passive. Yeah, Andre's super long. It's always interesting to play somebody that is that long because it's definitely a different kind of attacking zone. So I felt like I left a lot of high balls for his length, and that definitely set Colin up to be defending in some bad spots. So I don't see him very often, but it's always nice to play against somebody like that because it's a new view. So yeah, they played well. Congrats on the win to them, and we'll come back next tournament.